Hey everyone, Rusty Ingles here. Welcome back to Retro Games Rediscovered, where we dive into the golden age of retro gaming. Today we've got a showdown between two absolute legends of computing, the Amiga 500 and the machine that started it all, the Amiga 1000. Before we get stuck in, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new retro battle. Now, grab your joystick because this is going to be a battle of specs, sales and pure nostalgia. The Amiga 1000 was launched in 1985 and it was revolutionary, introducing us to true multimedia computing. Designed for professionals and enthusiasts, it was priced accordingly: £1,299 in the UK, £2,500 Deutschmarks in Germany and $1,295 in the US. But fast forward to 1987 and Commodore decided it was time to bring the magic of the Amiga to the masses. Enter the Amiga 500, smaller, more affordable and just as powerful. It had a launch price of £499 in the UK, 1,000 Deutschmarks in Germany and $699 in the US. Now that's a price difference that opened the door to a whole new audience. Let's get technical. Both machines were powered by the Motorola 68000 CPU running at 7.16 MHz, but that's where the similarities end. The Amiga 1000 came with 256 kilobytes of RAM, which was expandable to 512 kilobytes, whereas the Amiga 500 shipped with a whopping 512 kilobytes right out the box, easily expandable to 1 megabyte using the trapdoor slot. In terms of graphics, both machines featured the original chipset with the Agnes, Denise and Paula chips. They could display 32 colours from a palette of 4096 and both supported the hold and modify, also known as ham mode, allowing for 4096 colours on screen. But what about sound? Both machines had the Paula chip, so they offered 4-channel stereo sound, perfect for those epic gaming soundtracks and multimedia demos. Design-wise, the Amiga 1000 was sleek but very large, with its 2-piece setup and that handy keyboard garage underneath. It felt premium, but it was clearly made for the professional or hardcore enthusiast. And let's not forget the Kickstart disc, which you had to load every time you booted the machine. The Amiga 500, however, was much more streamlined for everyday use. It had an all-in-one design, no Kickstart disc needed, the operating system was stored in ROM. This made the A500 far more user-friendly and ready to go straight out of the box. Now let's talk expansion. The Amiga 1000 had options for external modules to expand RAM and add peripherals, but it wasn't as straightforward or as cheap as the Amiga 500. The 500 had that trapdoor expansion slot underneath, making upgrades easy and affordable. You could bump the RAM to 1 megabyte with minimum effort. And don't forget the side expansion port, allowing for accessories like the A570 CD-ROM drive. Let's face it, the Amiga 500 was the superstar. It sold millions of units across the globe, particularly in Europe where it dominated the gaming and home computer market. Meanwhile, the Amiga 1000, despite being the trailblazer, sold far fewer units. Its higher price meant it couldn't penetrate the market in the same way as the Amiga 500. The Amiga 500 became the machine that defined Commodore's success in the late 80s and early 90s. It was loved by gamers, creatives and hobbyists alike. The Amiga 1000 will always be remembered as the machine that started it all, a revolution in computing, but it never quite reached the same heights in terms of sales and accessibility. So which machine takes the crown in this showdown? The Amiga 1000 gets full marks for being the pioneer of multimedia computing, but the Amiga 500 takes it for sheer market impact, affordability and user-friendliness. In the end, it's all about what you're looking for, but for most of us, the Amiga 500 is the ultimate retro icon. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Which machine wins this retro battle for you? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this blast from the past, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more retro gaming goodness. For Retro Games Rediscovered, I've been Rusty Ingles.